Hello. Welcome. Well, as I had mentioned in the past, and frequently, that I communicate with DNC and the Democrat leaders in this country. The Congress, the Senate, they talk about the H.R. 1. What H.R. 1 stands for, I'm not sure. What word is with H and what word is with R. But I'm going to give you some information that I have done, my research, and I'd like to share to you what H.R. 1 is all about. I'd like to read it to you. It's easier for me to do that than to talk about it. So, H.R. 1, For the People Act as H.R. 1, For the People Act as H.R. 1, is a bill in the United States Congress to expand voting rights, change campaign finance laws to reduce the influence of money in politics, banning partisan gerrymandering, and create new ethics rules for federal office holders. Originally published January 3rd, 2019, and the number of co-sponsors was 222 people. I'd like to continue and talk about H.R. 1. Shown here, this description of H.R. 1 was passed in the House March 3rd, 2021. And it states here, for the People Act of 2021. This bill addresses voter access, election integrity and security, campaign finance, and ethics for the three branches of government. Specifically, the bill expands voter registration, e.g. automatic and same-day registration, and voting access, vote by mail, and early voting. It also limits removing voters from voter rolls. The bill requires states to establish independent redistricting commissions to carry out congressional redistricting. Okay, good word. Additionally, the bill sets forth provisions related to election security, including sharing intelligence information with state election officials, supporting states in securing their election systems, developing a national strategy to protect U.S. democratic institutions, establishing in the legislative branch the National Commission to Protect United States Democratic Institutions, and other provisions to improve the cybersecurity of election systems. Further, the bill addresses campaign finance, including by expanding the prohibition on campaign spending by foreign nationalists, requiring additional disclosure of campaign-related fundraising and spending, requiring additional disclaimers regarding certain political advertising, and establishing an alternative campaign funding system for certain federal offices. The bill addresses ethics in all three branches of government, included by requiring a code of conduct for Supreme Court justices, prohibiting members of the House from serving on the board of a for-profit entity, and establishing additional conflict of interest and ethics provisions for federal employees and the White House. And also, the bill requires the President, the Vice President, and certain candidates for those offices to disclose 10 years of tax returns. Today, I saw something on YouTube. It's about Democrats and Republicans, and it was a Senate gathering, and there's a man named Mr. Gates, and Mr. Al Sharpton. They're going back and forth. Now I see about the HR 1 and interaction, and how the money is going to be used for your campaign. Well, Mr. Gates was asking Al Sharpton, with the money he receives from donation letters, he spoke about this. Donation letters spoke of this, that how much did he spend on his own needs from the campaign donations. And they were going back and forth, and they were talking at the same time. Then a person would shout out, his time has run out, and all these words, he's like attacking the witness, and he won't let the witness, who was Al Sharpton, to answer his questions. And he was talking about how the money was spent from his donation letters, the donations. And Al Sharpton tried to answer the question, but he kept continuing getting overridden with Mr. Gates overriding what Al Sharpton was talking. And the whole group, which is the Republicans and the Democrats, are going back and forth. Can't allow this to be said. He shouldn't be treating Al Sharpton in this way. It took 10 minutes for them to reconvene and to continue on with the conversation fight between Al Sharpton and Mr. Gates. And that's about it. I don't think I remember too much about that, but it just shows they can't get along. They're not connecting. They're not making progress in this because they're bickering. I hope the politicians learn to work together on behalf of the United States, America, for all the Americans. They work for us. We're the ones who voted them in, and we're the ones who can vote them out. So, Republicans, Democrats, please work together. Stop fighting. Gets you nowhere. And remember, all of you are representing us Americans. Thank you.